Howdy Goons, here to address some more Switch 2 stuff. The hate train on Nintendo is resulting in regular news turning into misinformation, and has resulted in some YouTubers and commenters spreading lies, like the one I talked about in You're Being Lied To About Keycards, where people are spreading the lie that you'll need to have a constant internet connection to play your game, on the portable system. The portable system that doesn't have a SIM card slot. The portable system that doesn't have a SIM card slot that has no way to connect to the internet when you're outside of the house. The portable system that doesn't have a SIM card slot that doesn't allow for you to connect to the internet outside the house. It's ridiculous. Anyway, there are plenty of reasons for you to dislike Nintendo that doesn't involve lying. Some of these accounts spreading this info are essentially newborns, with no subscribers, and accounts younger than the Switch 2. I know, the pot calling the kettle black. Clearly, it's a grift to try and get some easy subs before they move on to whatever they plan to make regularly after this. Those videos aren't going to do well, by the way, because you built your entire audience up to that point off of negativity, so I hope you're not trying to make some positive content after that, because the people that are subscribing to you for your negative content aren't going to watch your positive content. It's just not going to get recommended to them. Anyway, of course, they're all delivered in this AVGN cadence with ridiculous language in tow. It's just sensationalist. So before we continue, I have to say this up front, because anyone who isn't a hater is treated as a fanboy. I'm not a Nintendo fan. I like the games, but I don't like the company. I own more Atari 2600 games than I do Nintendo. This was originally going to be a blog exclusive post, and I was going to leave it as that, but as I see more and more news, I see people lying about it or straight up just not understanding what the piracy brick actually means. Articles have been saying Nintendo warns that it can brick Switch consoles if it detects hacking or piracy. For those who don't know, bricking means effectively making your console unusable by making it unable to do its primary functions. So what this means is that if you hack or mod your Nintendo console, Nintendo reserves the rights to deny you access to your purchased system, which I agree is a massive overstep. But the reality is that this has been going on in the console space since 2001 with the Xbox original. Why are you only just getting mad about this now? This has been a constant rule on every system you've ever played since 2000. For 25 years, you've already agreed to all these agreements and had no issues. Probably because it wasn't news, because it wasn't Nintendo doing it. So once again, that bias against Nintendo kicks in. The common misconception is that this is just something that Nintendo is doing. That it's just classic Nintendo, overreaching. But in reality, this piracy brick clause has existed in gaming for a while now. The Wii's NAND can also be deleted during modding, which will brick your system. Eventually, modders found a way around this. The NAND is effectively the System 32 of your Wii. It's a little more than that. It's a lot of memory that's integral to keeping the Wii running, but it's effectively System 32. The Switch one also does this. So why do people care about this now? Anti-Nintendo bias, and because they think modding and pirating should just be an online ban. This bricking thing, in the long run, doesn't matter at all, and those of you who are mad were likely never going to get a Switch 2 in the first place, or you were going to wait until the steep sale. You're trying to be mad on behalf of the buyers to make you look like a concerned consumer in the hopes it will influence an actual buyer or Nintendo themselves. This has the same energy as a Karen who refuses to shop at your store because you won't accept her expired coupons. You smile, you say, "That's unfortunate," and then you see her again next week. The system is too expensive, you've all said. You made it clear that you were never going to buy it. So who are you trying to fool? You're grifters. You pretend to care about something you have zero stake in, and the YouTubers who are doing this junk, half of them will post a video a year later saying, "I was wrong about the Switch 2, or they'll have moved on to the next most digestible hate train. The reality is that the vast majority of you won't mod your system or pirate. The majority of modders are going to be tech YouTube channels with the expendable income to risk systems. These people know the risk going in. Hopefully you all know that there is always a risk of bricking when modding your hardware regardless of its age or level of support. That would be really stupid of you to mod your hardware without understanding the consequences. I think a lot of you just don't know what modding and hacking actually means, so you're worried that you're going to get caught and swept up in one of these things by accident. You can't really accidentally mod your console. You can't really accidentally hack your console. So most of you got nothing to worry about. If you don't plan to pirate or mod during the life of the console support, you will have no issue. I've seen jokes like using a third-party camera will brick the system, and while it's clearly, obviously a joke, I know that the majority of internet denizens can't tell when you're joking, which is why we have to do things like /s and JK on the internet. They spread it, and they keep repeating it until they believe the lies themselves. Until you have people who can barely spell Nintendo spouting the same joke but with 100% belief in its truth. This is also just an EULA update, end user license agreement. They're being transparent that they're doing it now, and as I've said, they have been doing it for longer than they were transparent about it. A lot of you worried about this are younger than when we started doing this on consoles. So some of this stuff, like the anti-piracy thing and stuff like that, that's existed before you were born, most of you. But I'm among the majority who wouldn't mod their system during the time that Nintendo is still supporting the hardware. I packed my Wii, my Wii U, and I emulate all the time. There will always be ways around this, and the perfect time to mod is at the end of a console's lifecycle, once they stop pushing out updates. In a couple years, when the updates slow down, that'll be when I hack my Switch 1. But I only do it on no longer supported hardware because I know they might brick it otherwise. This won't stop pirates and modders though, they're always one step ahead, and I encourage them to continue working on it. I can guarantee in the first year they'll find a way around this. So I think a lot of you are just overreacting, but you should still probably wait until the Switch 2 is no longer supported before you mod it, just to save you the work and money. I understand some people want to mod their games. A lot of these features that you're like complaining about too, like it took them this long to do voice chat, it took them this long to do Discord, it took them this long to do cameras and stuff like that. These complaints, like, the Nintendo console isn't for you. It's primarily for children and families. Like, you're like, shove your voice stuff up your butt and junk like that, and it's like, yeah, dog, it's not meant for you. Nintendo knows you're just going to use Discord anyway. I understand that some people want to mod their games, and I agree that it sucks that you can't. But if you really want to mod your games, you're probably a PC owner, and you can just emulate. Sure, emulation's been getting banned all over the place and bought out, but there will always be an option available. The resolution is really simple for this problem. Just wait. Be patient. There likely won't be any major mods for software on the Switch 2 for a very long time anyway. As for hardware mods, 99% of you won't be doing that either, even if it was encouraged by Nintendo. But at the end of the day, if you don't like it, don't buy it. No one is forcing you to buy it. But I'm kind of forced to hear your negative opinions about it since you're constantly being put into my shorts feed. Like, I'm genuinely don't have a choice about it other than I guess I could just stop using shorts. You know what? I should probably just stop using shorts. But no one's forcing you to buy it, and the average Switch consumer won't care about this update because it doesn't apply to them. Nintendo has never been a system for the power user. You shouldn't be shocked. It's so easy just to verify this stuff, but you'd rather stay mad and stay in your bubble. Googling more information is just too time-consuming, which is why I made this a video instead of keeping it as a blog exclusive. If you feel like you don't understand something, try to learn more about it instead of making things up until it makes sense to you. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't know this. Let's look it up. I don't expect the people spreading this misinformation to actually watch the video. They don't watch positive things, and if you did, you probably tuned out halfway through this thing. And the YouTubers doing it don't watch YouTube videos with dissenting opinions, they all just keep parroting what the others who agree with them have to say. But if you liked this video, consider checking out my blog at nimzynova.com. I post blog exclusives there, as well as additional stuff that didn't make it into a full video. I also post exclusives here on YouTube, so gosh, I guess you're just gonna have to check out both. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Bye 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 bye.